Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. My wife is talking about her toe feeling better. She dropped what was it? It was a package basically.
Yeah, it was a yeah.
She dropped the package on her foot, and she thought she broke it, but she didn't.
No, I think I just had a really bad bruise.
So, so hello to everybody. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, all that good stuff. Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, we celebrate it with you. Hey to everyone in the chat room. As per usual, want to give everybody time to like, share, and subscribe, and all those good things. I titled this 10 Years in the Pandemic.
Okay.
When
you say it like that, it just
sounds right. It sounds like a prison term.
Yeah. But I can laugh about it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just like.
I didn't even think about that.
But Twin. Well, we'll give credit to Twin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right, sorry. Go ahead.
That's it. Good evening to everyone. Oh, you know what I really wanted to talk about? Well, because we have some things we want to talk about, but we're like, some people wanted to talk about my chili recipe. I swear to God, people ask me, like, I mentioned chili and they said we want to talk about it. Here's the thing I want to talk about. We'll talk about the chili in a minute.
Well, I want to. Okay.
What's
ahead.
up?
I feel some type of way about him and this chili. We've been married going on 11 years. Never had I ever
Knew I could do chili like that?
had I had any of his chili. And I had it last week and it was delicious. So we'll put a pin in there. But I just wanted to put it out there.
Here's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about chili. I obviously don't want to talk about politics.
Food. I love to talk about food.
I don't want to talk about politics because sometimes I feel like I don't want to talk about the news because I've learned that we get so busy keeping up with this damn news cycle that we end up not actually doing anything but just commenting on.
Yeah.
Like we're just talking about what's that, but we're not actually doing anything to change it. And I'm talking about like my industry specifically, commentary.
We have a visitor. I knew I heard it's something.
Oh, somebody in the back. Get in the bed.
The middle one. Okay.
So I find myself talking politics all day, every day, news all day, every day. And I realize we ain't really actually doing nothing. Like I'm just commenting. And we get so caught up in the vicious cycle of who we mad at today, who did this today, who did that today, that a person like me who got into this to actually get something done, I really feel like sometimes it's so much more productive to not even talk about politics, but to actually do work like you and I have been doing on behind the scenes.
Absolutely. I think sometimes, well, two things. I think there's a group of people that just likes to talk about the problem. Very rarely do they have a solution. They just what is the saying? Misery loves company.
Yeah.
They just want to talk about what's wrong with the world and how it's never going to change and why even worth your time, why even use your time to do anything about it. And then the second part of that is when you engage in some of those conversations, either knowingly or unknowingly, it can skew your view or your thoughts or your actions to kind of get into that loop of let's talk about it, let's talk about it, let's talk about it, let's talk about it. And then you just find yourself having a conversation.
Talking to talk.
Yeah.
Talking to talk.
With no solution.
And so what we're doing with the company is a solution. I think it's a solution. And that's why I think it's valuable for us to take a sidestep from talking about the news every single day to have this conversation, because this conversation, like what we do I thought about this whole Twitter spat that I've been in, and I really thought they should be happy when I'm on Twitter arguing with them, because that means I'm not working.
You have that group too that'll try to get you off your game.
Yeah, they should be grateful that they have me on Twitter arguing with them, because that means I'm not working. When I'm quiet, we working.
Yeah.
And when y'all don't see us on the stream, we literally are working on this stuff that we talk about all day. Period. Like this streaming thing is cool, but the work happens when we're not on air.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. I mean, I had to learn a while ago that you can't share all of your aspirations and all your solutions with everyone. Sometimes you just got to move in silence. And then when you drop it, whatever it may be,
right.
there's nothing that they can say. There's no window for them to peek in. There's no door for them to walk through to kind of steer you away from what we're doing.
And no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. I actually finished.
So in doing this, people won't interpret this as the work, right? They were like, oh, they're on there talking about chili. Oh, Ben sold out because he's on there talking about chili.
You know.
And I'm like, y'all have no idea. This conversation about chili will move people closer to liberation than most of these people on Twitter any day of their life. You know what I mean? Like so we sit down at the end of the day, and it's not really about justifying what we do. No. But it really is to say that I think sometimes, again, we get so caught up in talking about the news that we're not doing the work of changing those situations. And I feel like the stuff we do offline is honestly working to change the situation.
Yeah, I think sometimes we give people too much power and we get caught up in trying to defend ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
And
that's me.
I mean, that's just general. I wasn't even referring to you, but just in general, howbeit soever. Sometimes we give people control over us, in the sense that they feel like they have say in who we are, what we represent, what our lineage is, what our experiences are, who we worship, how we worship, if we choose not to. It's my relationship is my relationship with him, my God, with my God, with my children. It's mine now, and I choose to share it because I want to show people that one, that we're human, all striving for the greater good. But then two, like it's a process. It is a long process. It's not ready made.
I hear some energy behind that.
This is not Come Down on Ben Dixon episode.
It's weird. People saying they can barely hear us. I don't know why, but I mean, it's the levels are jumping up here like real loud. Hang on a second. Let me do this. Okay. Because we don't want to just be. But my wife is soft spoken too, though.
Yeah, that could be it. Is it
hang
low?
On. No, it's not even plugged in. Hang on. 1, 2. No, you're right. It is low. What the heck? We could tweak that. We could turn it up a little bit more. So yeah, that's it. So go ahead. You were saying.
No, that was it. I don't know if they caught it, but basically, just don't let anybody into your space that's not willing to pour into you. And iron sharpens iron. You have some people that feel like just because you're on a platform or you hold a position at a job or work, I feel like
you gotta get closer to the mic.
Well, scoot over. All right. That they have a say in who you are, and sometimes that can shift your mindset about yourself and what you're doing as a cause.
Yeah. No, I'm laughing at them laughing at us. Like, is it even plugged in? Yes, it's plugged in. So, you want to talk about something?
Ask me the question first, and then I'll tell you. Tell you no lie.
The reason I'm a lot different today than I was back during the George Floyd protests, it's because of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's a hard shift from what you're saying. But when we're done talking, I think you'll see how it connects. Because I'm going to start here. I think everybody is going to need to see mental health counselors. Mm-hmm. And I'm not joking. Every single one of us needs to seek mental health counseling as soon as we can. Mm-hmm. Because we have gone through a very traumatic year. Mm-hmm. And it's been traumatic in a lot of different ways on a lot of different levels. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you. Something broke in me during the George Floyd protests. Mm. And if it wasn't for this woman right here, I certainly would be in jail right now. Certainly.
Yeah, he was suiting up, ready to go, ordering stuff. And I'm just like,
I got the blow torches in my garage still. We were going to, man, something, and I'm be honest with you, what broke in me was how broken our system is, mm-hmm. how broken our government is, how we could let so many, like, I don't even want to go back down that tunnel because mm-hmm. it's a dark tunnel. When you realize that this country will sit by and watch 350,000 people die. Mm-hmm. They will, in the middle of a pandemic, crush a black man's neck and smile about it. Shit broke me this summer, y'all. So when I say we all need to seek mental health counseling, I'm including myself. Mm-hmm. And everybody has been traumatized. Mm-hmm. This has been a year that will mess us up emotionally. And if we aren't wise enough to actually sit down and say, you know what, it's totally okay to not be okay right now.
Yeah.
And the only reason I am remotely okay right now is because you were able to jump in there and snatch me and snap me out of it.
Yeah.
And tell me to sit my ass down and raise my kids.
Yeah. But I would also encourage those high functioning individuals like myself. And I can laugh and say that now, but I have over the years somehow, some way developed a mechanism to where I can't deal with that right now. I gotta keep pushing.
You compartmentalize enough.
I keep moving. Yeah. I don't have time to think about finances or kids issues or things that are happening in the world, because mentally I know that if I did, I couldn't move. I'd probably be in the bed somewhere just trying to figure out what went wrong, what happened with life. I mean, it's crazy that in this day and age you still have those situations like he's speaking of, where a black man is being harmed. It's a reality. And for us having two sons and a daughter, because it's happening to the girls as well, when you see those things, you don't just say, oh, I feel bad for their family. You also say, oh, that could be my child. And so what do you do with that, and then you think about people in this whole pandemic and losing work and trying to figure out how they're going to pay bills or even eat for the day.
People are in line for food. During this pandemic, people have been in line. So anyway, there's a really deep, dark place in me that I don't think people really understand to get.
Yeah.
That if anybody is consciously aware of this country's problems to the extent that they have abandoned us, mm-hmm. and we got to fend for us, it's me. Mm-hmm. And my voice of reason has shown me the light that it is not for me to march up, to do everything I said I was going to do.
Exactly.
It's not for me to do that. It's for me to be smarter.
Exactly.
Because
that's what they're going to expect of you.
They will let us go out here and be a revolutionary of one, watch us get killed, mm-hmm. and they'll be sitting home mm-hmm. in their mansions mm-hmm. talking about the revolution.
Yep.
We just got to be smarter in 2020. We got to be.
Yeah.
We got to be. Yeah.
No, it's true. And so, you know, shifting his mindset, as well as, you know, coming on board with being a partner with him, I was like, you know, you could use what you're already doing, but in such a bigger and great way that will reach people versus you doing the thing that you had planned to do.
Like I said, but listen, like I said, we're all going to need after 2020. Like, listen, I remember one time I was in a meeting and it's not that I joke about mental health. It's that I'm like pretty honest about it. And I was honest about it in a meeting with just two people. And one of them pulled me aside, don't ever say that again. Don't ever say. Like, say what? That I need to talk to my counselor about something? That shows weakness to you all? Let me tell you, if I don't talk to my counselors, shit's going to pop off in a really wild way. So I think we need to just be honest with ourselves and say that America has broken all of us.
Yeah.
2020 has broken us. And the reason I'm doing what I'm doing the way I'm doing it now, which to some people is like, oh my God, Ben, you sold out. No, you got to understand, for people who actually want to get things done, we move to get things done. And that sometimes that means we got to move smarter.
Yep.
We got to move smarter. And I appreciate you for like walking me back from my rage. Which is crazy because I'm not a rageful person.
So
Am I?
You're not. I'm laughing because you're the one that you'll have that rage moment. Yeah. But I'm the one that will hold on.
A little bit longer.
A lot longer.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the mama bear, the wife bear, whatever you want, sister bear. I don't know what you want to call it. But he's easier to walk back from that rage. He's a logical, philosophical
right. I will think it
thinker.
Yeah.
Thinker, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you the truth though. Logically speaking, I want to be on the record here, and I want the FBI who got a file on me. I want y'all to write this down. Logically speaking, this government deserved to fall this summer. Period. 350,000 people dead. This government has abdicated its responsibility to us, and it should not be in charge. However, I got kids to raise. Period.
Point blank.
Period.
And that's what I had to tell him. I'm like, what do you want your legacy to be? Not saying that you should lay down and not doing anything, but do it in a different way. Do it in a different, with a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because our kids are watching, our nieces and nephews are watching, our friends' kids are watching, and whoever else are watching. And sometimes they need that person, one, to be honest, but then also to show the oh, thank you. So 24/7, 365. But yeah, it's just, we gotta, better, you do better. Now, I'm not saying that, he has to just bow down, because there's some thresholds that we have.
Well, so that's the good thing. That's why I'm so glad I got you. Honest, real talk. Reason I'm so glad I got you is because you're like the only person in the world I listen to. To be honest with you. She's the only person in the world I actually listen to. Like, don't get me wrong, I like to I seek counsel. But if I think you ain't telling me the right thing, I'm gonna do my own thing. You're the only person where I could feel like you're the only person where I feel like it doesn't matter if I'm right. I got to listen to somebody. And so at the end of the barrel, at the end of the day, if y'all want to know my Achilles heel, it's the fact that I ain't trying to lose this one. You know what I mean? because I think sometimes we get out there by ourselves, and you could be as smart as you want. You could be as smart as me and still be as dumb as me. Like I could do all the things right, but then there's that one thing that I signed that I should have known better. There's this one thing I went where I should have known better. There's like these moments. I have these moments of stupidity that are like, duh, Ben.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Of course I'm not supposed to march up the steps of a blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Of course I'm not. That was a blind spot for me. So, anyway. Somebody said they feel your facial expressions.
I can't hide it even if I wanted to.
Oh man, this is a heavy one for me because I am. But you know what? The good thing is that forget all that other stuff. The fact of the matter is that our work is about to speak for itself.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing: it's not. Everything isn't going to be $1 billion company. Everything isn't going to be multi-million. Sometimes a thing is simply we've created opportunities for other people. Period. And you know, so maybe as we build this, it's not going to be like game changing, but it's going to be game changing for the people we're working with. You know what I mean? So, and for us, that's literally the reason why we're doing it versus just sitting back and just watching making it rain and shit.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry. I've been trying not to cuss.
He has been working on that.
Right.
I don't. For me, I'll speak only for myself. I operate out of my purpose. What have I been destined to do and provide for others? And so, although the coins, and Ben will joke about the coins are good. He'll joke about it, but for me,
I
what
be dead
brings
ass
me
serious. I don't be joking. I be wanting to tell y'all. I gotta
You're ruining my
Okay,
moment.
I'm
You're
sorry. You're
ruining
right.
my
You're right. I
moment.
just want to tell y'all.
You put a pin in, and then you say it like, no.
There's enough money. We could have funded the revolution a long time ago. There's enough bread out here for any revolution to have been funded. That's all I'm saying. And you're right. I shouldn't have cut you off
At that moment. No, but he is right in the sense that the money is there. And so our main goal and our main purpose is to share that with people who have things who have a dream or put forth into the earth, but don't have the connections or don't have the finances to do so. So what I was about to say was that everything that I do, I always do it from a point of, asking myself this question: does it bring me joy? What are people going to gain from whatever I do in the world and in the community? And I feel like that for me takes off the pressure of worrying about the coins. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing,
right,
and I'm doing it with happiness and joy and and without expectation, then blessings will come back in any shape, form or fashion. Blessings will come back to myself and the company, and we'll continue to grow and motivate and move, and the sky is the limit. I'm done.
I'm just making sure.
I appreciate you all.
Listen, I'm trying to do better. Here's the other thing. This is why I do this. I like telling the truth, because people don't do that. People don't tell the truth about themselves.
Nope.
People like to tell you the truth about other people. I do that, but I also like to tell you the truth about me. As if y'all didn't already know. I am probably one of the most arrogant people you're going to ever meet in the history of arrogance. And it helps tremendously that I have a wife who does not care about any of that. And the fact that that's like the counterbalance. Like we're each other's yin to each other's yang. Like, and our go back to our very first episode of doing this. Y'all, we already told y'all it took 10 years and a pandemic to get this shit.
Absolutely.
That said, it's like we're far from perfect. But one thing I've learned is the more I get out of your way, the better the entire situation is.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. He's never seen me in work mode.
I love it.
He's never seen me in work mode. So he gets a tickle out of it. He loves it. He enjoys it. But I'm like, I've been doing this, not this particular position, but when I'm in my career mindset, I don't have time for games. I need you. Where you going? We're not done yet. We need to finish this.
But I love it when you do to other people, not me. I love seeing you do it to other people, not me. And it's funny. I've been telling her, well, hang on. Let me see something real quick.
So yeah.
So, where were we?
I was telling you how you're not gonna leave until I tell you can leave.
Hold on now. Let's not get beside ourselves now, because you know.
You just told the whole.
I did.
You know.
I did.
Okay.
But I'm still Ben Dixon.
I'm gonna let him have his moments. I won't show out. I'll come back in a little bit.
Y'all know how I know how much trouble I'm in when I get off this thing. I know. But no, it's to me, because my biggest blind spots actually were with you. And it's been the process of me getting out of my own way by getting out of your way that has exposed those blind spots to me, which logically tells me that if the thing that I'm like have the biggest blind spots are stuff that you're fully aware of, then you're probably in a much better position to help navigate this space than I am, because you have much more sober view of my capabilities, my limitations, my ego, my ups, my and the full range, like the full range of me, like me.
But I think that's why we work so well together, because we're total opposites. And so I know if just as I'm speaking to you, this is how I speak to Ben all the time, because he's always in debate mode.
Here it is. This is exactly it, Butterscotch. It's for the same reason Ben act like we can't see his arrogance. But in this space, a level of some arrogance is required, right? So here I am. Yeah. I'm so blind. Like, I honestly think that they needed me to tell them that I know I'm arrogant. As if y'all don't know I'm arrogant. You see it every night. But that's the blind spot. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Can I just keep it 100? I do this with me. And I do this with Jada because I think one of the most valuable things that you could possibly do is to find out who sees your blind spots. If you can find a person who can see your blind spots, and guess who it normally is? I'm about to come full circle and mess y'all up. This is going to be a whole ass sermon. Guess who it is? It's usually it's the person you gaslighting. It's the person you lying to. Like low key, it's the person who, I hate this article with a passion because I just hated the title and I really just did not like the fact that man over at The Root or whatever website, he said, black men are the white men of the black community. I hated that article. Absolutely hated it. God damn it, it's true. At least in my house, I was the gaslighter. And so what I'm learning is it's in our best interest to actually listen to the people that have had to survive us. It's in our best interest to listen to the people who have had to survive us. Now, I ain't never laid a finger on my wife, right? Like, this is all relative. Some of y'all gaslighting out there need to go to jail, okay? Let's just keep it real. Some of y'all out there, My shit's relative. Y'all can go dig up on me. We've already discussed. I'm good. I could run for president. You ain't gonna find no shit on me deeper than the fact that I used to like to make it rain every now and then. Quite a bit. But the point is that it's relative. And even in this relative scenario, I was a gaslighter. Mm-hmm. When I was strong enough to let her tell me the truth about me, that's when stuff started working.
Mm-hmm. Because what I, and it might have been the wrong thing to do, but you know how sometimes you try to tell somebody something and you can see it clear as day and they will debate
oblivious
you from, I'm from the country, I'm going to say from the rooter to the tutor. They'll debate you. So I just say, okay. I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you, because I also feel like sometimes a person has to learn the lesson.
I don't want to learn any more hard lessons, Lord.
And so
no more hard lessons. I'm good.
Sometimes you don't want to break the spirit of the person. So I've learned to pick and choose where I would speak up. I weathered some of the storms because I didn't speak up. But it's a new day. And I'm feeling good.
But now, I'm gonna mess y'all up. Cause watch this. I don't tell you nothing about myself that is not applicable to something much bigger. Everything I ever confessed about me, I'm gonna bless you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna do y'all like we do in church. I'm gonna bless you right here. If you want to understand why I have shifted so hardcore to black first, tell me who has been gaslit in this country the most. Black people. Black, brown people of color, indigenous. We have been gaslit the most in this country. Mm-hmm. We have collectively had to be the survivors of America. Mm-hmm. We collectively have had to be the survivors of white supremacy and, capitalism. Mm-hmm. So like it was in my personal best interest to come to terms with my role in this relationship of being the gaslighter in chief. And if I just listen to somebody who sees my blind spots, that we could do something so much better than me pacifying my ego. Mm-hmm. Like put my ego aside, we could do some things. I used to always say to her, stick with me, babe, I'm gonna take you places. Mm-hmm. The situation now is Ben, stick with her, she'll take us places, right? Just like that, the United States of America needs to listen to the people who have had to survive it. Period. If they actually want to survive as a nation, forget all the rest of these platitudes. Forget about Medicare for all. Forget about everything. All those things are things that we absolutely need and are going to fight for. But we're not even talking about that. I'm going to be honest with you. If America wants to survive as a nation, they better damn well listen to the people who have had to survive them. Mm-hmm. So.
That is it's an unfortunate skill set that we've developed, and we probably can save a lot of money for the government. We have learned to pinch a penny here, save a coin there, borrow from mom and them, and all these different things. And so we've never had.
And guess what? They don't know if you're talking about you and my relationship or black people in America's relationships, because it's synonymous.
Yeah.
Synonymous. You had to help stretch. I'm this idealistic fool out here. I never forget, man. I'm giving y'all way too much. Like I'm giving y'all
But it's reality.
Jeff. We ain't gonna say his last name, but yeah. Jeff was so disappointed in me when I got us down here, and we ended up being unemployed. Mm-hmm. It's like, brother, you got children. Mm-hmm. It's like you're supposed to be over here. Like I was trying to put you on a long time ago.
Yeah.
You had to survive my idealism. Mm-hmm. That's the real thing you had to survive. Mm-hmm. And you did that shit. And so you have that's the magic. Y'all wanna know what black girl magic is? Black people magic? It's the fact that y'all have had to survive us. And we've collectively had to survive America.
Absolutely.
Listen to black women.
Moral of the story.
That's the moral of the story. Trust black women.
Listen, it's something that it's been passed down generation to generation, unfortunately. But yeah, we've been at the bottom. We've been in the middle. Some of us might have made it to the top. But at some point in their lives, they've had to shift and maneuver. And I think to go to what Ben is saying, like if you just give us a chance to recognize that we have value and worth and we can contribute without taking away, that's one of the things as a community, if I can get on my soapbox, as a community, we take care of each other for the most part, but we take care of each other. We're going to look out for everybody. So it's not like, ooh, Ben and I, we coming up and we're just going to hold it to ourselves. We're not going to share it with anybody. That's not us. I'll say that. That's not us. I can't speak for everybody.
The good thing, though, is now I'm going to build myself back up because I tore myself down to make a point about America. Difference is I knew she was dope from the day I met her. That's why I married her.
That's what he told me.
I knew she was a boss from the day Matter of fact, y'all want to know how prophetic your boy is? The name of the company that we're starting, I published the book under it. The God is Not a Republican. I published the book under it 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Her name has been in my phone with that company title in it since day one, square one, even before you even realized you were going to be doing it. So the difference is I see I see the value. And we had to work out our personal, I mean, we're human beings. We had to work that out. But I always knew she was a boss. So now what?
Put up, shut up. I'm just going to shut up. That's all. I'm just going to sit right here. We were talking about this the other day, how, and I'll just be transparent, but we're always taught that we have to be 10 times better than our counterparts. Mm-hmm. Like we just can't do the average and think that that's going to fly because we already have a couple of strikes against us.
Yeah.
But then you add on the fact that yes, you're doing these things 10 times as harder than your counterpart, but mentally you feel like you're not enough or you can't do it or you don't have the skill set to do it. And so I think that was one of the things that I had to get over in general in working different positions, but also and more specifically in this role that I've trained for this in some form or fashion. Mm-hmm. And I should confidently walk in it, especially with all the advisement that I have from the different people that we have on our team. Yeah. I'm not alone. Yeah. And we're all in line and in tune with each other as far as the purpose and the mission of the company. Right. But yeah, it's a mind shift that has to happen, but it doesn't necessarily happen right when you're in the midst of it.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say, and you could say whatever you know. You could close it out. At the core of what we're doing, what's funny is you're still demonstrating that surviving Ben's idealism by now coming in and saying, okay, look here, man, if you're going to do this, like, let's dot every I and cross every T. Yeah. But I also appreciate that you see and you never even crossed your mind to question what we're fighting for. Mm-mm. That's what I appreciate.
Well, because I know your heart and I know your intentions, and it's not for personal gain. And so it goes back to me finding that joy and finding that peace and walking in my purpose. And I see what you see. Mm. And I believe in what you believe in. So if we're gonna
I did them today.
That's a whole story in and of itself.
I cook dinner.
Yeah.
I cook. Speaking of, how about that? I told you would never come to one of my streams where everything doesn't dovetail back on top of itself, because we were going to tell you about the chili that I made.
But wait, before we go to that, I want to go back to this dishes. So whoever it is, male or female, it really doesn't matter in the household who does certain chores versus the other, right? So I typically do the dishes. I don't know, it just brings me some type of peace and whatever. Excuse me. And so Ben is like, oh, well, I'll help. And, if you just take the dishes out of the dishwasher.
That's the deal. If she just emptied the dishwasher, I hate empty the dishwasher, but I wash the dishes.
But then
every now and then I slip.
Well, no. And then I'll be like, well, it's empty. For real?
No, it ain't.
No, it ain't.
Let me check.
Like, he'll open it and he's hoping that it's dishes in there.
Lying. There's a spoon left. There's a spoon left in the dishwasher, bruh. You tripping.
All right, go about your chili. I'm sorry.
Well, let me say this. Somebody said, please don't, this doesn't mean no more Ben on TYT. Let me tell you about, just real quick, TYT, they are so cool. Like, I don't have a contract with them. They like hanging out with me and I like hanging out with them. And it's really dope because they have been, listen, if you trust me, I'm gonna tell you, they have been some of the most authentic people that I've worked with in this. You can vouch. Yeah. Like they're the most authentic people that we've like encountered. And so of course I'm gonna keep hanging out with them. I mean, it's TYT. Like, low key, it is. I've been a fan since 2008. So of course I'm gonna still go on TYT. So anyway, there's that. The other thing before we go to the chili are the 5 things that we're literally fighting for. The reason we are expanding this beyond me is because I said to myself, how do I actually get to my goals? Those 5 goals. This is what we're fighting for. Underneath all this, we're fighting for every single human being on the face of this planet to have a house, to have food and clothing, to have education, to have health care, and then I finally figured out what that 5th one was. I solidified it. To have security and peace. We generate enough wealth in this country to literally do that for everybody on the face of the planet. And the only reason we can't do that is because people are greedy. And they're so greedy that they will just as happily drop a bomb on somebody in the global south because it helps them hit their quarterly profit margin. And I know that is a model that is going to destroy all of us. It's going to destroy the planet. It's going to destroy this country. It's going to destroy humanity. When we can simply do something different, we make enough money on this planet to make sure that everybody has a place to live, everybody has food and clothing, everyone has education, everyone has health care, and everyone has safety and security and peace. Now, I doubt that I get that accomplished in our lifetime. Cool. But you know what? That's the fundamental principle of this company. So if we don't make it in this lifetime, I'm going to use a corporation who's immortal, and we're going to keep fighting for that. Corporations are people, my friend? Fine. This is what our corporation is going to fight for at the core of what we do. So anyway, that's our cue. Jeremiah is here, which is, I'm really a bad dad because I put him in bed without changing him into his night clothes.
And that's what's,
I'm going to end the stream here so I can go salvage the night. Good night.